You seem uncomfortable. Do I make you nervous, Corky?
No.
Thirsty, maybe.
Curious, maybe.
That's funny. I'm feeling a little bit curious myself.
Although I've dedicated my life to pod and its goodness, I secretly love throwing oranges at our hosts. Welcome to Pleasers
and Punishers,
where we talk about movies that people love to watch,
movies that ruin your today, tomorrow, and yesterday,
and all things kinky and queer.
I'm Caitlin of the North.
And I'm May Googly Go Away Schultz.
And today we're discussing, oh, for fuck's sake, please stop using that word. Oh my God. It Tarsem Singh's 2006 epic The Fall, starring Lee Pace and Katinka Antaru.
Wait, which word?
Trigger warning on a Rachel epithet for an indigenous woman.
Oh, got it. That word.
Yes, I forgot about that and went, oh. I don't think I knew
that was a racial epithet. So thank you for letting me know. Glad I did not include that word in my synopsis. Well, before we get too far
I would
here,
have stopped you, I promise.
I appreciate that. So we have another guest this week. You may know them from their voice work or their excellent Buffy podcast, Fangs for the Memories, Leslie J. Rising. Welcome,
Hello.
Leslie.
Hi, yes. Thank you so much for having me. I am so happy to be here.
I'm so glad you can join us for this incredible movie. I know that you're a big fan of it, like both of us are.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny. I actually haven't seen it since maybe like 2014.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense with how hard it was to find anywhere for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I have an opening question, as usual. What would you do if you won a date with bisexual king Lee Pace? Either one of you can go if you have an answer.
Yeah, for me, I think the first thing I would do would be to call the National Weather Service and have them issue a flood warning. Because if I knew, not even if I was going on a date with Lee Pace, if I just knew that I was in the same zip code as Lee Pace, I would cover like an entire 100-mile radius and come.
Leslie, I don't know if you know this, but I learned the term flood my basement from you on Fangs, and I have made it a part of my common vernacular.
Excellent.
I love it so much, so I'm glad that came up here.
I love to have a strong brand.
Oh, well, what about you, Caitlin?
I was going to say call the National Weather Service and do away with that storm and bodies. Get rid of the kids as well and replace Rachel Sennott with me. So that's what I would like to do. I would like to hang out in a mansion where he just like picks me up and throws me in a pool. And he picks me up and maybe throws me over his back. Maybe he picks me up and throws me on a bed. Any of that would be quite excellent. And for some reason, the first thing, though, that popped into my head also was, like, feed me spaghetti.
Oh, my God. That was going to be part of mine.
Yeah,
really?
I would love to share a costly pasta meal with Lee Pace and, like, Lady and the Tramp some spaghetti. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Yeah, so my answer was going to be I make him dress up as Throndiel, or however you pronounce it. I can never remember. And I have him carry me to like a bed of moss in the forest where we make out and probably fuck. And then we go out for a nice pasta dinner.
There's just something about Lee Pace that screams, let's eat pasta together.
And his eyebrows.
Oh my God. Perfect.
Yeah, y'all, I have been absolutely in love with Lee Pace for 20 years, almost 20 years of my life. When did Pushing Daisies come out?
Oh, I don't even know.
feel
But like
like
around this time or before?
Yeah.
Pushing Daisies started in 2007. So
Yeah.
I've been in love with Lee Pace for 18 years, and that only increased when I saw this movie the first time. And speaking of this movie, let's get into some role play.
Is that your bathing suit? Is that your overbite?
Now, one of you will be the drowning victim, and the other one gets to be our lifesaver.
I'll be the victim. All your life.
Okay, listeners, you know the drill. I'm going to tell you what happens in this movie, and it's full of spoilers, so if you haven't watched it, why are you listening to this episode? We open with a slow-motion black and white montage after a stunt has gone wrong, leaving a horse in the river and a man with a debilitating back injury. It's Los Angeles, quote-unquote, once upon a time, aka around 1915, 1920. And we meet Alexandria, a young Romanian girl recovering from a broken arm, and Roy, the stuntman who broke his back. He begins to tell her a story about Alexander the Great, which she imagines in beautiful, vivid detail. The next day, Roy starts a new story about a group of men united by their hatred of Governor Odeus, marooned on an island in the sea. Ota Benga, an ex-slave, an Indian who never gets a name, who lost his wife to the labyrinth of despair. Luigi, the explosives expert. Charles Darwin, the naturalist, and the masked bandit whose twin brother is set to be executed by Odeus. Darwin's monkey companion Wallace gives them the idea to escape the island with the help of swimming elephants. When they arrive on the mainland, a tree bursts into flame, and from it emerges a mystic who has been sent to assist the men in their fight against Odeus. They lay siege to his castle, but arrive too late. The masked bandit's brother and his crew have already been skinned and hung like a chandelier, so they mourn the men out in the mountains. Side note, does that remind anyone else of Event Horizon? The skinless man chandelier? Also, that sounds like a really horrible euphemism for a dick.
But like a flaccid one, because it's just like hanging there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Wow, sorry I gave us all that visual.
I also, just from playing games, like Witcher 3, anything with kind of a fantasy element, hanging flayed people are all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It lets you know you're going into a real great area.
Excellent. The mystic eats their map and leads them to his people, who perform a ritual to show them the way to Odeus. Roy interrupts the story to convince Alexandria to get him morphine, and she sees a mother mourning her dead son who fell into a snake pit. Alexandria runs away after the mother hisses at her, and an old man comforts her by teaching her the magic words, "Googly, googly, googly, be gone." She brings Roy 3 pills because she misunderstood what he wrote down. Morphine, not 3 morphin pills or 3 morphin Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, it's morphin time.
Yes.
It's morphin time. Into some sleep. Oh no. Apparently that was just something that she said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of her dialogue was apparently improvised because she was really young and she was like learning English as they shot the movie. So they just kind of like let her and Lee Pace form a bond as he was like telling her this story, which is so fucking cute.
Yeah, they even went so far as to like hide the camera so they wouldn't like
Right.
she didn't even really know that they were filming. She was just like having a conversation with him.
Right, which is kind of beautiful. Back in the story, the men come across a caravan of slaves pulling a wagon and free them. From the wagon, bearing Odeus's flag, emerges the beautiful Princess Evelyn, who they bring with them. The wagon was bearing the flag, not Evelyn.
Evelyn was bearing a beautiful fan over her face, like the greatest mask of all time. One of them. It's gorgeous.
Unfortunately, she is betrothed to Governor Odeus, and the bandit makes to execute her. The bullet is stopped by her locket, which contains a hilariously long inscription from her father that's even called out within the movie. Says all that? See? That was a terrible Italian accent. The bandit and Evelyn decide to marry in a gorgeous ceremony, but the priest betrays the men. They are sent to the desert to die in the sun. But thankfully, Alexandria enters the story as the bandit's daughter, freeing the men from their binds. In the real world, Roy is offered a generous contract by the film studio, but can't seem to get off his quote-unquote suicide kick. Yeah. He has Alexandria steal pills from Walt, a hypochondriac and fellow patient, but they turn out to be placebos, much to Roy's disappointment and anger. Alexandria goes back to the dispensary to get Roy more morphine, but falls and cracks her head. A hallucinatory montage follows, and she awakens to an apologetic Roy, who brings the story to a terribly tragic climax wherein everyone dies one by one. Alexandria cries and begs him to change it, and so Odeus is killed by his own sword as the bandit and his daughter walk away, leaving Evelyn behind. Roy's film, which is nothing like how Alexandria imagined the story, screens for everyone at the hospital, his stunt so brief that you can hardly tell that it's him. After her arm heals, Alexandria is back in the Orange Grove with her family and friends. In voiceover, she talks about seeing all of Roy's stunt work in films, and a montage of famous stunt performers acts as a love letter to the long-ago days of movie magic. Oh my God. Okay, Leslie, tell me, what is your experience with The Fall?
I saw this movie, I think a year or so after it came out. I think an old boyfriend showed it to me, and so I dumped the boyfriend but kept the movie. So it was like the only good thing that come out of that relationship. So, but yeah, I just love it. And like I said, I haven't seen this movie in about probably 10 years, but watching it literally today, like 3 hours ago, I did not miss a beat. Like, I remembered this movie start to finish, like the colors and the characters, and it's just a movie that like sticks with you.
Yeah, I generally consider this to be one of the most visually striking movies that I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And so it makes sense that all of that imagery would stay with you. It's a very simple story that is made so beautiful and so incredible by all of the visuals. So what about you, Caitlin?
So I didn't see this until, I think, 2020 something, which you could not find it streaming. You could barely find it on physical media. I think I got it on a DVD from elsewhere. Thank you, eBay. And watched it, and it's like so beautiful. The direction's very good, but I don't really like the movie.
Oh no!
Whoa, wait, what?
I know.
What? What's happening here? What?
I'm fascinated now. Tell me.
I just
tell me
dropped
why.
a bomb.
Well, no. Wait. Don't tell us why until we get later in the episode. I'm very, very curious, but I want to save it.
And what I will say is I totally forgot that Roy does not die.
Oops.
And so I was like, oh, movie's over. And then it wasn't. I was like, oh, there's like an hour more of this movie left. I had just forgotten.
That's also something that I noticed too. When I watched it the first time and then when I watched it recently, is that it's only an hour and 52 minutes. It's less than 2 hours. It feels so much longer than that. And sometimes that's good and sometimes it's not as good. But yeah, I can kind of understand maybe why you wouldn't like grok this movie super hard. But yeah, it's definitely doing things, and it's doing things that you will probably never see movies do again unless we have like a huge culture shift.
Oh, absolutely. There were times in the commentary where Tarsem was talking about even just the places that he was filming and how difficult they are to film in.
Speaking of which, the entire film was shot on location in 28 different countries and took multiple years to complete. Which of these locations would you most like to visit?
Oh my God. Like, all of them. The like stacked rice field where they go to do the map ritual is so beautiful. The Blue City, which I think is in
Jaffer,
Italy?
India?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of it is in India, I noticed, which is awesome. And you know what it is? It's so visually different. Like every place that they go to stands out.
What about you, Caitlin?
The Blue City was also on my list. And just the end with the pool,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
gardens,
gorgeous.
and that is, yes, I would just like to be there at all times, please.
That's fair.
Send me there.
So for me, it's actually the location that they use for the Labyrinth of Despair in the movie, which the way it's shot looks so terrifying and haunting. But in real life, it's called Jantar Mantar, and it's in Jaipur, India. And it's a collection of 19 astronomical instruments built by the founder of Jaipur. And like,
Wow.
they're real astronomical instruments that have a purpose. One of the things is the world's largest sundial.
Wow.
And just like, I had no idea this place existed until today. Like, I knew they filmed there, but I didn't know what it was until today. And so finding that out, I was just like, that sounds incredible. I want to see that. Okay, well, I have no good transition here. So we're going
It's
to move
becoming a wonderful hallmark of ours. I love it.
I know. Well, we're going to discuss the film's context in our next section, Faith and Chance.
I can't exist by myself because I'm afraid of myself. Because I'm the maker of my own evil. Goodness is only some kind of reflection upon evil. That's all it is.
All right, Caitlin, take me away. I always want to say Calgon, take me away.
Take me away.
Wow,
She's
I
presenting
just-
like a mandrill.
Did you see my butt?
Itchy, itchy, itchy. My pantyhose are itchy. Oh my God. It's so great to have another Mystery Science Theater fan on the show.
And after that detour, we have a lot, obviously, going on in this movie. And it was interesting watching it this time around and thinking about particularly the intersection right now as in 2006 with like Pan's Labyrinth coming out. That has very similar feel to it. So much so that I had also forgotten that that the fall takes place in Los Angeles and not Spain. And I absolutely thought that they were in the hospital because of the fascists and completely wrong movie. Completely wrong movie.
Both excellent films, though. I mean, apparently you don't like this one, which I'm going to give you a hard time about for the rest of the
Apparently
episode.
you hated it. Those were your exact words.
I hated it. I thought it was
You
trash,
hate it,
garbage.
you hate us, and you want off the podcast.
Spin it and set it on fire.
Just like Ian's cake. Sorry, I'm never gonna get over it. I'm never gonna get over Ian on season 1 of Great British Bake Off binning his cake.
It was very upsetting. Very upsetting. Also, don't put in the bin Zack Snyder's 300, which also came out in 2006. In the commentary, Tarsem talks about the moment of the Alexander the Great story and how he was like, oh, the actors, some of them were not professionals, they couldn't get it together. It's all just coming off as like some homoerotic, campy, kitschy movie set in... It was supposed to be in Sparta at first, but I'm glad we didn't do that.
Oops.
I was like, oh, interesting. I feel like at this time, too, we're really getting a lot of people who had started out in music videos coming up and bringing that more visual storytelling sensibility to movies.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot with Tarsem when Kate and I covered The Cell on Tender Subject.
And some other things that he mentions specifically, he name drops Ang Lee and Lars von Trier as really using these long shots. And very long 1-2 shots and getting what you need from that and moving on. So this is why you get a lot of those very long takes in this movie.
I feel like that's also a little bit of a nod to the early like silent film era where you didn't really have that many cuts. And then as movies got more sophisticated, like shorter and shorter cuts kept happening because they were able to do more edits. So I feel like that's a little bit of a nod to the era that they're filming in as well, or that they're setting it in.
It's really interesting with the 1920s piece because he does obviously at the end of the movie pull a lot of those scenes from the silent film era where people were doing their own stunts and they were extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like zero safety measures, literally people jumping onto and off of trains and buildings and shit just to see if they could. It was basically Jackass, but like without the weird culture around it.
Yeah.
Speaking of real stunt people doing real stunts and very dangerous, I was struck by when Roy is, I mean, obviously he is devastated by hurting himself in the fall for multiple reasons.
Name of the movie, take a
I was
drink.
going to say, right, we have title. And part of that is that he will probably lose his work, as well as everything else, like his livelihood. And when I start to look into it, as we do have stunt people who are amputees now and have for several decades, it wasn't something that would have really been a thing at all in the 1920s. And from what I could find, you were usually relegated to being part of like a freak show in the circus or as part of a movie like that, instead of being able to continue the work that you're already doing.
Right.
And what else is kind of interesting is that this wasn't even going to be a movie that was set in the 20s at first.
Okay.
According to an interview I read from the time. But he did it because he didn't want the child to have any idea of what a movie... didn't want to have them have ever seen a movie.
Got it.
Don't even know what it is.
Okay.
And since that's almost impossible to do now, we want to set it in a time when movies were not just everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, kind of a luxury, really. Because if you had time for a movie, that meant you were rich enough to not be working in an orange grove.
Right.
This is so wild. So when I was watching this movie, I was like, I swear I just saw something in an orange grove. What did I just watch that had an orange grove? And I just did mushrooms and watched Paddington 3. Which has a scene in an orange grove in it.
Oh my god.
Also, the Paddington movies are excellent to do mushrooms and watch. It is just, Paddington 2 is like one of the greatest movies.
Oh, Paddington 2 is fucking incredible.
Yeah, Paddington 2 is fine, even not on substances.
I have not seen the third one yet, but I guess I'll have to watch it now.
It's still a lot of fun. It's not quite as good because nothing's going to be as good as 2, but still a lot of fun. Very good. With this being in 1920s, there are a lot of references, particularly pertaining the crew. I would say that I had no idea, and I started to look up because if I get a little nugget, I'm just going to go down those rabbit holes because it's so interesting. And so to kind of go through the crew a bit, we have Odebenga, who was a real person. Born circa 1883 to 1916, he was a part of the Mabudi people, which was located in the Congo. And it says that his wife and his daughter, I was getting this from Wikipedia, so it was cited, so everyone knows. His tribe specifically was attacked by the Force Publique as a militia to oppress military people and communities by the Belgium government.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
He was captured into slavery by a different tribe and sold to Samuel Phillips Werner in 1904.
Okay.
They brought him over to the United States, and from what I could kind of tell, Werner seemed like he wanted this to be an actual cultural or scientific, which when you start talking people and scientific, and it starts to get real hinky there. But that was kind of his idea. He brought over several. He was specifically looking for quote-unquote pygmies. And instead, what ended up happening is this kind of troupe was made to perform as part of like circuses to reinforce stereotypes, to really play up being quote-unquote savage. And then just through a bunch of weird events, Werner gets Benga into the Bronx Zoo. And at first he's there working, but probably never paid. And then slowly but surely, they put him on display as part of the exhibit in the monkey house.
I read this part too. They like put him in a enclosure with an orangutan, and I was just like, my whole body just like tensed. I was like, oh fuck.
Yep.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So there were African American clergymen immediately protested this. Were like, this is not appropriate at all. One of those things when people always are like, oh, but it was the time. It's like, no, people at the time also knew this was not okay.
Yeah, like fucking, yeah, people like had their whole like communities and stuff. Like it wasn't just, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. He was released basically in 1906. He wanted to go back home, but the breakout of World War I made that impossible, and he ended up ending his life in 1916. And that was such one of those pieces where, like, she would have heard of Odebenga, but not, really known who he was necessarily. So when he's describing this character and puts that name on it, it's a very specific choice by Singh that he made here, invoking this person.
All right, who else we got?
All right, so we have Darwin, which obviously Charles Darwin, Galapagos Islands, natural selection, theory of evolution, pretty famous around these parts. And then we have Wallace, who's a monkey. And his name,
adorable monkey.
Oh, excellent monkey. Just what a performance.
Are we cool with spoilers?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
When he got shot, that is literally the hardest I've cried in like maybe a week and a half.
Yep. It's really tough.
I was not okay after that. I needed to take like a 20-minute walk around my apartment.
Oh.
What Tarsem says in the commentary is he's like, the monkey, I remember, it was a little bit of ketchup and a little bit of drugs. The monkey's just super high.
Get that monkey some lorazepam.
That's me on a 4th of July. It's a little bit of ketchup and a little bit of drugs.
Perfect.
That's me anytime I make burgers at home. Although I prefer barbecue sauce, to be honest.
I am also team barbecue sauce. I think you're correct there.
Interesting.
We're a lot of controversial opinions.
Yeah, I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, I also don't dip my fries in ketchup.
Yeah, I sometimes just forget it's there.
I like them salty.
You know.
Okay, tell us more about Darwin and Wallace.
Who likes it salty? Alfred Wallace. Okay. So Alfred Wallace was a person, a contemporary of Darwin, who came up with the theory of natural selection independently of Charles Darwin. Like, I feel like this is the first I'm hearing about this.
Oh yeah, when I was reading up on stuff today, that I had no idea that this was a thing, and then they presented the information together, right? But then Darwin was just credited with everything.
Yes, it's very different than like Thomas Edison type deal. It was supposed to be shared, and they met. And because they kind of came up with it together, but apart, there wasn't any hard feelings. I don't know.
Interesting.
And then Tarsem says, and I made him a monkey.
Just cause.
Just cause.
Yeah, why not?
We don't
Why
need
not?
another human on the crew. Let's have a cute monkey.
We have a lot going on as is. Mm-hmm. I am going to just really quickly take a little detour into the Kechak, which was the Balinese Hindu dancers. So that is the map and
Okay.
with
And
the
that's
directions.
Kechak, not ketchup.
Correct. It's almost more like, I think, Kechak, but
Okay.
well, now I'm getting like hecky with it, but like Kechak.
Okay.
Another really kind of interesting piece with tourism is that these dances were said to have been created by Walter Spies, or not really the dances were created, but Walter Spies, who was a German painter and musician, had come to know a different ritual that contained religious dance.
Okay.
And so what he did was he adapted it as a drama based on the Hindu Ramayana. Mm-hmm. And so it includes dance, but the whole thing was intended for performance just for Western tourist audiences. So this group typically does this performance from the Ramayana.
Okay. That's interesting.
And he mentions that originally he did want it to be specific Hindi dancers, but they couldn't get over there, or the rights, or couldn't pay off the right people. There's a lot of stuff that comes up that we'll talk about in one of the questions. It's very, very interesting. But the ways he got around a lot of the barriers of filming out in actual spaces are pretty fascinating. So then, lastly, we have the Indian. Now, I will say when I first watched this, I had missed that she was thinking that the story's in India because he said it was going to be set in India, and then it's not. Mm-hmm. And that's where the disconnect comes from.
Well, and also she's Romanian, and so to her, an Indian is someone from India, not an indigenous.
Well, also, this is technically in her imagination, so she is imagining her coworker or the person that works on the orange farm who is a person from India.
Right.
Yes.
While Roy is referencing the movie that he was in, where it's using a Native American person as an Indian. So that's why you get those, I'm not going to repeat it on here, but you get those racially charged words. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which really don't have anything to do with the version of Indian that is going on in Alexandria's mind.
Right.
Which was very confusing, particularly the first time I watched it, and was like, wait, what is happening? And those little times sometimes where you either blank out or you look down or whatever it is, and then you're completely lost, or just really changes the entire view of the stories. Happened to me a couple times, and then on the second watch, I was like, oh, I really misinterpreted that. I will say, obviously, so Tarsem is from India. He is from the Punjab region. And listening to the commentary, he brings up kind of the Sergio Leone, especially in the the standoff, what looks like a standoff really early on when we first meet this character.
Mm-hmm.
And with that in mind, it just reminded me of how we in the West have exported, especially in the United States, have exported these ideas, particularly racial stereotypes, through media to other countries. And because Tarsem's from India, the way he was talking, particularly about indigenous people, it sounded like either he wasn't aware that they still exist, or it was just very colonial and very jarring. He kept defining it differently as using like the red Indian. Which was also, it was just very, it's one of those things where I'm sure, like you said, this wasn't something that he knows.
Right.
Like he wasn't aware. Like a lot of people aren't aware, but that's why Deb Haaland, I hope I got that right, who was the Secretary of the Interior under Biden, was trying to rename a lot of spots that were named that valley or that.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. The ideas of this coming from the movies of how indigenous people in the United States live even to this day, and how different that is from actual reality. Just wanted to call that out because it was certainly, when he specifically said Sergio Leone, this all kind of clicked as well, of how he's talking, which is very British terms and very old British terms as well. But also sometimes when you travel, you go outside the United States, and obviously still within the United States, you will see this romanticization of the Indian as a stereotype.
Right.
Just randomly. My name is Caitlin of the North, and I am here to bum you out. It's not all being bummed out. I will say, like, being able to bring everything together and the way this was shot, like, over 4 years, that's incredible.
Yeah, I honestly was a little bit shocked to hear about that. I mean, obviously he did a ton of pre-pro for this. I think what it said, it took 17 years to just find all these locations to shoot in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But 4 years to film this whole thing kind of feels short to me. I don't know why. I don't know anything about movie production, but like I think just like the grandeur of it makes me feel like, wow, 4 years, and they were like packing up all their gear and equipment and stuff and all the costumes and taking them to Bali and, Italy and all these different places. Like, I feel like 4 years was not enough time.
Right. And that makes it all the more impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Caitlin, before I do my last little bit of this section, you have one more thing?
I don't know why, but when you said what influence does this have on our culture, I was like, oh, The Fall Guy just came out, and that was also about a stuntman, and it has the word fall in it. So I'm putting it in as this is an influence for The Fall Guy, and every movie that the director, who also did he also do Atomic Blonde?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think
so. And the
I
choreographer.
And I think he's a former stunt man as well.
Yes. So I'm going to say he was influenced by this movie. I have no proof of that. He was influenced by The Fall for everything he's done.
Beyond those 4 letters. Got it.
Yep. That was what I had.
Okay. Well, on Rotten Tomatoes, this has a 64% based on 116 reviews and an average of 6.3 out of 10. On IMDb, it's got a 7.8 out of 10. And on Letterboxd, where people are more correct, it's got a 4.2 out of 5 or an 8.4 out of 10.
64% on Rotten Tomatoes is fucking criminal.
It is.
I was surprised.
It is
I was really surprised.
Shocked. I was like, we as a nation, we as a people, a society, a world are fucking morons.
It's true.
There's so much to answer for, and this is
Unbelievable.
one of them.
Yeah. You know what? We did not deserve to go back outside after COVID. We didn't deserve it for the way that we have treated the fall. For so many things, but especially for the way we have treated the fall.
Well, speaking of things that are horrible, capitalism. Let's make that money. And now we're going to dig into the meat, the goo, and the viscera in a section we call Enough is a Myth.
No. I've done enough.
Enough is a myth.
All right. The film feels equally about the magic of movie making and the power of imagination. The intersection of the two are what give the film its beauty and its legacy. Do you think that the general shift in filmmaking from location shooting and built stages to green screen and computers has ruined people's imaginations?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I was reading Cuckoo, Gretchen Felker Martin's second book, because we recorded an episode on it on Tender Subject on Monday. And she does a really good job describing these things that are kind of cosmic horror-y, you know, rather than Lovecraft, who was like, it's beyond description. Gretchen does a really good job with it. The problem is my brain is so poisoned by CGI that it was rendering these images in my head in computer graphics. And I had to, like, stop, put Rob Bottin in my brain so that he could pull in his visual effects masterworks and make these creatures for me.
I love that. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what is wrong here. Someone said it earlier, like, you didn't know this place existed, and so you went to look up more information about it, and now you want to go there.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
there's nowhere to go in fucking Avatar.
Right.
Like,
Much to many people's disappointment.
yeah. There's just something that is so much more magical about a place existing. Like, I think it's much more like, I don't know, it just feels like special to know that somewhere on the planet there is a place like the stacked rice fields. There is a place like the Blue City. There is a place like the desert that had one single tree in it.
Right.
Like, and you could go there if you wanted to, or you could, well, especially now that we've got like good computers and stuff, you could look at pictures of it, or I don't know. But like, it's real and tangible, and that is the coolest thing. I don't need to look at like basically just a bunch of ones and zeros that somebody made into the shape of a flower that doesn't exist. Like, I think the world that we live in is fucking radical as it is. Like, I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the birds of Papua New Guinea? If you haven't, I don't know, look up the birds of Papua New Guinea because your mind will explode. They are incredible.
Yeah.
And you've been there, right?
No, me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No,
I don't know
I
why I
haven't-
thought you had been there.
I haven't been to Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
I've been
I
to
guess I
Mama
assumed
Mama
because
New
you've...
Guinea. Sorry. You can cut that. You can cut that.
I refuse.
Stupid.
I guess I assume because you've been to Australia, you popped over to Papua New Guinea.
No, it's impossible to get from Australia to other places. It takes so long.
Interesting.
It's so long. I mean, New Zealand's still like a 4-hour flight.
Holy shit. I don't think I
From
realized
Sydney.
that.
That's crazy.
Wow. All right. Well, what do you think about this, Caitlin?
Yeah, I was definitely thinking about this. Avatar came up in my mind as well. And how well Tarsem is able to capture the beauty of the living world. And again, the way he went about it as well was really interesting. The amount of times he went, we paid off the right people, or we did not pay off the right people. Or you cannot shoot the Taj Mahal from the front. It's almost impossible. But it's like,
There's so many people there.
but if you pop in through the back, there's like a neighborhood and a fence, and you just kind of go there and pay the right people. You get to go on a roof, and you have a view from the back.
Holy shit. That's pretty cool.
Having to shoot very, very quickly in the morning in some of these locations because people will just show up on the roofs.
Mm-hmm.
Roofs? The roofs. The roofs.
The roof is on fire.
I was just about to say.
We don't need no green screen. Let the motherfucker burn.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if either of you have seen the movie Holy Motors.
I have not. I've heard interesting things about it.
I loved it. I have no idea what the fuck was going on. One of my favorites. But there's a part of this that uses kind of green screen. You're watching an actor in green screen technology, which is very interesting because this movie is very rooted in practical effects. Holy Motors, which is definitely saying kind of a similar thing of the physical versus the not physical. I know this is completely off subject, just really, really quickly. I used to work at a museum in Seattle that had an Avatar exhibit, like right after Avatar came out, and people would show up dressed as
The Na'vi.
The people?
the Na'vi.
Oh my God.
They would come dressed as Na'vi.
Jesus.
There was, in this one room that was free, a Tree of Life would come on at one point, and people like came in and sang the song.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, we saw so many butts that day.
Lot of loincloths.
Yeah, a lot of
Just
loincloths.
chock-a-block of loincloths.
People lost their mind over that movie.
Yeah.
And I just remember being so disappointed.
Yeah, it's the same story as Fern Gully. And
It
Fern Gully's a
literally-
better movie.
Beat for beat. Yeah, because you have Tim Curry singing the sexiest song on the planet.
Yes. Thank you.
Hit me once. Hit me twice.
Lord.
Yeah. I'm on record as saying I would always rather see a rubber bat on a string than a CGI bat flying around because it's a tangible object. I would rather see a built set than a green screen. I'd rather see a matte painting than a green screen because the matte painting, at least someone made that with their hands. And it's like, I am not deriding the work that digital artists do.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, no.
It can be very good. It can be very useful. But when it comes to a live action film, having something that actually exists in the physical world, even if it's a matte painting, even if it is a flat slab of wood with a painting on it, it still exists. And that just makes such a difference for me in terms of my immersion into the world of the film.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, enough disparaging CGI.
I do want to say that I feel like we are kind of on an upswing back into practical effects. I feel like this current kind of generation of filmmakers coming up are more
into that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I am so excited for the new Deathstalker movie because it's being done by Steven Kostansky, who co-directed The Void. He did Psycho Goreman.
Oh, shit. I love Psycho Goreman.
It's so good. Frankie Frico, which I have not watched yet. But from what I can tell, 99% of the stuff in the movie is practical, and it looks fucking awesome. So
Are you talking about Deathstalker, like the
Yes,
Conan the
like-
Barbarian ripoff?
Yes, there is a new
Holy
Deathstalker
shit.
movie coming out directed by Steven
I
Kostansky.
did not know that. Oh my God, that's
Yep.
incredible. That might actually get me to go back into a movie theater again.
They've been showing the trailer at the Alamo a lot, so I'm assuming they're going to be showing it at the Alamo that's near you.
Oh God. Excellent, excellent. Okay.
Yeah. I took Kate to the Alamo while she was in town, and she loved it.
Nice.
Okay, on to my next question. Alexandria populates the story with people she's seen in real life and places them into exotic locations and situations, expanding greatly upon the story that Roy is telling. Who's your favorite member of the crew and why?
Well, I do want to point out, because we talked about it a little bit with the homoerotic kitsch, ain't a ugly person in this movie.
Oh, no.
There ain't a ugly person in this movie. Everybody is buff as hell and glistening and dewy, and I'm here for it. I want more of that.
I would say the closest we get is the priest within the story and his weird,
his weird tonsure.
Yeah. He's got like that creepy smile, which is very disconcerting. But when Alexandria sees him just as the regular priest at the hospital, he's fine.
Yeah, totally fine.
Yeah. Okay. But not who do you want to fuck?
Okay.
Just who's your favorite member of the crew?
Favorite crew members, probably Darwin. I like that actor a lot. Leo Bill, I think is his name.
Yeah, he's fantastic in everything I've ever seen him in.
Yeah, I remember him as like the snooty maybe fiance for Alice in Wonderland, the one with another wet dipshit Johnny Depp. But yeah, he's very, very good. I like his, and when he's like because he's just an orderly at the hospital and he's just like kind of bumming around.
Right.
He still has like good like character presence.
Oh, for sure. And when he's watching the movie and you can just tell how into it and how caught up in the magic of the movie he is, it's just a wonderful small moment. All right. What about you, Caitlin? Who's your fave?
At first, it's going to be like, well, Wallace, obviously.
That's a valid answer.
Go, Wallace, go. Oh, Wallace.
Now I'm just imagining, instead of Curious George, it's Curious Wallace, and it's him and Darwin going on adventures and discovering new species together.
That's adorable.
Yes.
Like
and birds of Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Wallace is your answer?
I'm going to go with Wallace.
Okay. I am a big fan of Otabanga. I mean, that backstory, knowing that it's based on a real person, I don't know if he actually had a brother die with him in the fields and, he set all the other slaves free. But within the movie, his character is just so fucking badass. And whether he's the ice delivery man or Otabanga within the story, he is fine as hell.
Yeah. Oh,
yes. Oh, that headpiece. Again, the costumes in this are sickening. It is
so good.
It's just, it's absolutely incredible. And then, of course, Lee Pace. Just
those again, the eyes and the brows, the way those all just come together on his face, very pleasing.
Well, before we all get too horny, I found out today, and I saw that you had it in your section earlier, Caitlin, and you deleted it because you saw my question. This is apparently a remake of a Bulgarian film called Yo Ho Ho from 1981. Does knowing that it's a remake take away any of its magic, or is this an example of the quote-unquote right way to do a remake?
I think it is, because it is not... It's not half-assing anything. Like, the immediate, comparison that I would make would be, oh my God, what's that movie where they're going to the dad's funeral and the whole family's fucked up?
Death at a Funeral?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So they did Death at a Funeral with Matthew McFadden and everybody. And
and directed by Frank Oz.
Yes, that's right. I always forget about that. But then they remade it with Chris Rock and
Danny Glover.
Yeah, and I think Alan Tudyk is in it too.
No, Alan Tudyk is in the Frank Oz one.
Oh, he is in the Frank Oz.
And he is perfect in that movie. James Marsden plays that character in the remake.
You're right. Yeah, but it's just very lazy. It's you're banking on the popularity of the first one, so let's just not really try very hard.
Right.
But this one is Tarsem put 110% of himself in this.
Yeah.
So I don't care if it's not original source material. It's an original piece. It's an original moment.
Yeah. And again, the actual story at the heart of this is fairly simple.
Yeah.
You know, a guy in the hospital tells a story to a little kid, and that kid imagines the story. And that story itself is, again, very simple. So Tarsem being able to build this entire gigantic, gorgeous world off of this very small story is extremely impressive. What do you think, Caitlin?
I definitely don't think it takes away any of its magic, and I don't also know how much of the actual story from this Bulgarian film is in The Fall, particularly because of how much of the story was dictated by Alexandria.
Right.
As well. Like, she was kind of the actor, was driving the story. There's always, this idea of remakes, boo. But this kind of reminds me of another remake, but it's also based on a book. I think it's The Little Princess.
Yeah.
The Quaron version versus the Shirley Temple version, which I think was A Little Princess.
Right.
One or the other, but just again, that fantastical storytelling, the child's imagination, and how that remake also took the story and did something completely different with it.
Right.
Really built upon it.
It's like doing a cover song. If a song is well written and you put your own spin on it, it's going to be a good cover.
Right.
And that's why I like covers of Bruce Springsteen songs so much, because he's a great songwriter. I just don't like his style or his voice. And yes,
sorry, Mom.
I know that's a hot take. I get it. I don't think Bruce is a bad guy by any means. I'm just not into him. But like, there are some incredible covers out there of I'm on Fire and various other of his songs. So I think the same thing applies to making movies. If you take a story and you do your own thing with it and really turn it into something that feels new, that's all that matters.
Yeah. I agree.
And speaking of all that matters, let's play a game.
Hello. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
Okay. Caitlin, tell us why you don't like this movie.
Yeah, please.
And then we're going to, shoot you, and hopefully your locket will stop the bullet.
This is it. Hopefully. Otherwise, you're going to have to find someone on real short notice.
I'm just kidding. I love you, even though you don't like one of my favorite movies of all time.
I know. Wild times. I don't find the story Roy is telling very compelling. That's kind of what it comes down to. It took me a while to realize this. And when I was watching the movie with commentary and Tarsem was talking about how so much of this was dictated by a child, I was like, oh, that's why.
Right.
So it's for some reason, and I totally get it. And like I said, there's so many movies like this that I absolutely connect with. I think I was a little disappointed that he didn't die in that moment. I wanted this to be a Punisher, I think was part of it. There was, like, the first time I ever saw Napoleon Dynamite, I hated it because I'd watched so many Todd Solondz movies.
Oh, okay.
I was just expecting something terrible to happen at any time.
You were like expecting Uncle Rico to turn out to be a pedophile or
exactly,
something.
yes. Just the whole time I was like, what is going to happen?
Napoleon's grandma to explode in the ATV accident.
Oh, God. Debbie has
when
tuberculosis.
Yeah, but it's just something terrible is going to happen to someone. Someone's kid is going to, and yeah. It's just, and so then when that doesn't happen, I don't know if my body is just so like tense already that my nervous system is just like, oh well, fuck that. I didn't get any release.
I can't finish to this.
I'm getting this exactly. What is this?
Where's my fucked up depraved shit?
I don't know why. I'm gonna get you off.
Okay, so this is not a Punisher for you, but it's not a pleaser either. Are you pleading the fifth here?
I'm kind of in the middle. It's so hard because like I 100% on a technical level think this movie is stunning and absolutely worth the watch. With everything that I said before, that doesn't have to you don't have to hate the movie because of racially insensitive pieces or the use of stereotypes. It's just good to acknowledge that those do exist. It's just, for me, I don't like the story he's telling. I'm kind of more interested in the part where he's, and as someone who really likes fantastical, magical, I don't know. I don't know if it was just because I couldn't climax or.
No,
I hope he
even
dies.
with Lee Pace.
I know,
I
right?
hope
God.
he dies.
Impossible.
It's just like, I don't know. Kids nonsense.
I can kind of understand where you're coming from because there were a lot of critics who were like basically saying the same thing. It's very pretty to look at, but like story-wise, there's not really much propping it up. But I think that's kind of the point. Like,
right.
While I was watching this, there kept popping up like, oh, this feels very similar to Samurai Champloo in that it is very visually beautiful, but like not a whole lot happens. A lady is on a search for a man, and she has two dudes who are backup for her. And that's the story. They're just like going through Japan, trying to find this guy. And there's obviously more to it than that. But like the core of that anime is that it is so beautiful to look at and like so visually interesting. Like the first maybe 2 times I watched that, I could not fucking tell you what happened in that anime. I was like, I don't know. Something about sunflowers, and then there's a guy that dies and he looks at the fireflies.
Wonderful.
But like it looks really cool and these colors are really neat, and then it's like got this like graffiti style too, blah blah blah. Like that's how that feels to me. So a movie doesn't have to, have beginning, middle, end, resolution, denouement. It can just kind of be a thing to look at.
Right.
But I think you kind of have to accept that and let that wash over you as you're watching it. And if you're not prepared for that, then it can be kind of jarring or even kind of boring.
Yeah. So I realized at the top of the episode, I never talked about what my story with this movie was.
Oh, yeah, please.
Oh, yeah.
So there used to be an art house theater in Highland Park, Illinois, which is a northern suburb, not quite to the Wisconsin border, but like getting close. And there was like a regular movie theater that had several auditoriums, and then there was this one artsy part of it where they would get import films. It's where I saw a lot of things in high school that I would not have been able to see elsewhere. And they showed The Fall there in 2008 when it finally got US theatrical distribution. And I saw it on a date with this woman that I was dating at the time, and that relationship didn't go anywhere. But I absolutely fell in love with this movie. I love that it has a simple story so that you are just focused on immersing yourself in that world. I've talked a lot about how suspension of disbelief is very easy for me, and immersing myself in the world of a movie is one of my favorite experiences. It is why I love watching movies so much. And that also ties into why I am in love with on location and on set shooting and practical effects, because that just lets me be part of that world even more so. And I just, there is something so magical about this movie to me, because it is about the magic of making movies and the power of imagination. And like you said, Leslie, the fucking marvel that is our planet and all of the cool shit that people have done to create these incredible structures and these incredible places that we get to travel to within the film. And so for me, it's unequivocally a pleaser. It makes me cry so hard every time I watch it. It did not today, and I think it's just because I was focusing so much on writing up my outline. But I watched it a couple months ago with my friend Vanessa, who I'm actually hanging out with tonight. Well, she pierced my nipples.
Hey!
And then I got to see the 4K restoration last December at the Music Box here in Chicago when they screened it. And seeing it in the theater again, looking even more amazing, was just such a wonderful experience. So I adore this movie. I am so glad that we got to cover it. Caitlin, I'm sorry you don't love it, and thank you for talking about it anyway.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. I mean, it's not something that lends itself to, like, there's nothing to talk about here.
Right.
Of course. It's just one of those movies where this seems like it should so totally be my thing, and there's just a block there. It's
that's totally valid. And honestly, you may, and this happens to me a million times. Like, I'll watch a movie and I'll be like, well, I fucking hated that. Like, for example, Longlegs. I went and saw Longlegs with Kate and all of our friends, and I was like, I think I hated that movie. But then I like sat on it for a bit and like mulled it over and kind of chewed on it, and I was like, no, I actually think I really dig it. I think it's really like saying something cool or like, you know, doing something different. So
did you rewatch it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I'm just like seeing new things, you know? So you may, I'm not going to, you know, try to be like, you'll change your mind one day, but you may, you may find it months or even a year later. It's like a totally different experience for you.
Yeah.
Which is cool. A cool thing about movies. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to say, and I can't remember. So, you know what? Let's wrap up with what awaits you next time.
Don't you see? He's got us now. Okay, this is exactly what he wants. We can't go to the police. Not now. He's made sure of that. He's just out there, and he's watching us and waiting. What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
That brings us to the end of our episode. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey, fellow travelers. If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review wherever you can, because it helps more people find the show and makes us all tingly inside. You can find us on Instagram at Pleasers and Punishers and on Blue Sky at Pleasers Punishers. You can also email us at pleaserspunisherspodcast@gmail.com. You can find me on Blue Sky and Letterboxd at Everson Poe, all one word. You can find my music on Ampwall, Bandcamp, and streaming services as Everson Poe, two separate words. As of this recording, my new album, Enough is a Myth, based on 2022 version of Hellraiser, came out on Sunday, so 4 days ago. And thank you. And people seem to be really enjoying it so far. And I'm so happy about that.
It's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not just saying that. I wouldn't say anything.
I'm eagerly awaiting the test pressing for the vinyl so I can get that approved and vinyl pre-orders can go up. So I promise I will announce that when it happens. But besides that, you can hear me on other podcasts such as Tender Subject, talking about body horror and cannibalism, and Slayerfest 98, talking Buffy, Angel, the Magicians, and all sorts of great nerdy stuff. Caitlin, where can you be found?
I can be found at Caitlin of the North on Blue Sky and Instagram, and Cat of the North on Letterboxd. And I have, something real cool coming up soon that I might be a part of. That.
Intriguing.
Well, I'm excited to hear more about that when you can tell us, because clearly right now it's a secret.
Secrets.
And Leslie, if people want to find you online, where can they do that?
Like you mentioned at the beginning, I co-host Fangs for the Memories with Kate, who is also a podcaster on Tender Subject. You can find out all of our information, all of our socials, links to our Patreon, and get our episodes anywhere you get podcasts. That can all be found on one website called fangs.zone.
Get in the zone.
Get in the zone, Fang Zone. And then me personally, I am Leslie J. Rising everywhere except on TikTok, where I am Leslie J. Rising with an underscore, because fuck.
Excellent. Well, thank you again for joining us. This was so great.
Thank you so much. I had such a wonderful time. I love this movie. And I did have one last thing.
Oh yeah, please.
I always forget that Lee Pace is bisexual until I see his hairline, and I'm like, yes, he's definitely not straight.
Yeah.
I love that it's the hairline that does it.
No
for you.
straight man has ever had that hairline.
Well, and I also kind of love that he's a bisexual man who ended up married to a man.
Yeah.
Because I feel like so many bisexual dudes just kind of default to dating women or femmes.
Yeah.
And so many
good for him.
bisexual women default to dating or ending up with dudes or mask folks. So good job, Lee Pace.
Thank you. Thank you for breaking the stereotype, the combo breaker.
Excellent.
Combo breaker.
Well, next week's episode is going to be on Kill Bill Volume 1, and we'll have another great guest to help us hunt down the Deadly Viper assassination squad. And just in case for some reason you're still a Lady Killers listener, I want you to know that we programmed this before they came out with their Kill Bill episodes. And also, they can go fuck themselves. You know what? I'm finally just saying it out loud. They can absolutely go fuck themselves.
Oh, my cheeks may never unclench. Hearing that.
But until next week, do some aftercare, clean your toys, set healthy boundaries, and
don't lick the ice.